Hello, I'm Ed Marshall, and welcome to Money Talks. According to a leading research association, Americans spend about 1% of their gross annual income on alcohol. That's about $565 a year, $5,650 in 10 years, or a whopping $22,600 over a 40-year period. But for some families, that cost could be much more, according to some researchers who study families and the effects of alcohol in terms of inheritance. We'll tell you more when we come back.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Well, welcome back to Money Talks. We're talking about the cost of alcohol, and not only that, the effects that it has on so many people's lives, particularly people who may not know how alcohol affects their family tree. But joining me today is a gentleman that I've got a chance to know, and that's Mr. Roy Karuba. Roy, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Thank you.
You are by trade a engineer.
Yes.
But we're going to talk about some of the other things in your life. You're a trained engineer from UNO, one of our wonderful schools, and you've done a whole lot of things in your life. And I've stayed in one of your hotels that you all designed in Lafayette, as a matter of fact.
Good.
So I know you do good work. But today we're talking about something really dear to your heart, and that's alcoholism in families and how it affects families. So, and you of course have written a book, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But well, basically tell us what inspired you to write the book and the message that we want to get across to my audience.
Well, Ed, the message of the book is very simple. Most people suffer abuse during their childhoods. It's just a fact of life. And I did, at alcoholism, drug abuse, abandonment, and I had my share of it. And the sad part to that is we all end up passing that on to the next generation. And I chose not to do that. When my children were born, I have two beautiful daughters who are the lights of my life. And I was blessed at a young age to have an epiphany and realize that if I did not make some changes in my life, that I was going to pass on the trauma to them, and I was not willing to do that. And that's what inspired me to write my book, because my daughters are grown women now, and a few years ago, when I realized how good they turned out, the ending of my book was written. So I got serious about publishing the book a few years ago.
Yeah, I think it was Jackie Kennedy who said that if you bungle raising your children, really there's nothing else for you to do. You kind of wasted life in a lot of ways, she was saying, because we're here to rear children and to have them affect other people's lives in a good way, in a generous way.
And Ed, the sad part is children can't pick their parents.
Exactly.
Therefore, it's incumbent on us not to screw them up.
Right.
So, and that's a big task.
And you decided to do that, and we want to look at some parts of your book, and of course the book is called No Trees in the Fairway. Why did you choose that? Because most people see this on the shelf and say, is this a golf book?
Yeah, it's not a golf book.
No, not at all.
Golf is one of the few sports I'm not good at because it requires...
Join the club.
Well, it's a very difficult game to play right, just like life.
Right.
So there's an analogy in my book, which I'm not going to share on TV, about how I came up with the name.
Okay.
And there's a metaphor for life and golf courses, and that's how I came up with the name. You got to read the book to find out.
I will, and I've read some parts of it, and it's pretty cool. But tell us about a little bit about your childhood, and that had to be pretty tough to put that in words and to share it with the public.
It was very difficult, but it was also very cathartic and cleansing at the same time, very liberating. I'm the product of two parents that were both religious. My mother was a nun and my father was a brother. And religion played a big part in their marriages, not in a good way. And I was bounced around a lot as a child, lots of marriages, lots of divorces, and all the abuse that comes with that. So it was very traumatic. And I have two brothers that did not get the help that I got. and their lives are vastly different than mine, and that's very unfortunate. But that also helped me gain perspective on why I needed to write this book.
And this was professional therapy, I would assume.
Lots of it.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, they obviously left the religious life and got married. And did that become part of their systemic thing with alcohol, or?
You know, Ed, I'm not an expert, but my grandfather was an alcoholic on my mother's side. My mom suffers from drug abuse now, so I would have to think that it's hereditary. And I know from all the therapy that I had that alcoholism can be hereditary. I chose not to go down that road, so I don't drink. I left that gene alone because I was afraid of what the consequences may be, and I'm grateful that I did. Right. So I think it's hereditary.
And we're, you know, I'm not an authority on that. We're certainly not telling people not to drink or drink in moderation or whatever. But we wanted to bring this story to our audience so that people can take a look at that and start, because more and more people are analyzing their family trees. And once they do that, they can find out whether there are people along that line who had those problems and perhaps can help change their lives and also change their children's lives. Yes. Your daughters, I'm sure, love you to death, as my daughter loves me. So tell us about how this change affected your daughters.
My daughters are great women, and I say that very humbly. And I'm not married to their mom anymore, but I give her a lot of credit because she's a great mom. Mm-hmm. And we spent a lot of time nurturing them and giving them the internal skills that they need to succeed in life. And they both have that great foundation. That's great. So it was an honor for me to honor them in this book.
Great. We want to say, too, that all proceeds from your book go to Covenant House in New Orleans, and also to a facility that's going to be built hopefully soon regarding to assist families of veterans, called Fisher House.
Fisher House.
Okay. So we'll look forward to that as well. And so the proceeds, you wanted to make sure that you pass that on so you can help someone else.
Well, I'd like people to buy the book, not just for the obvious reasons, but those proceeds will certainly help people.
Indeed they will, because I know a lot of folks who work with Covenant House and some of the past directors and super organizations.
Great organization.
All righty. You will come back and see us, will you, please?
Absolutely. I'm grateful you had me on.
I enjoyed having you. Thank you. When we come back, we'll have more information on the power of women and what they're going to be doing in the years ahead and the months ahead. So stay right here. Well, welcome back to Money Talks. You know, all over the country now, you see a lot about women empowerment. It kind of started out in Hollywood with things that went on there, and now it's just spread across the country, and women are becoming, letting you know that they're empowered. I already know, because I live with two women, my wife and my daughter. But joining me now is a very empowered woman, and she is the one and only, as we call it, the Director of Power. Is that right, Liz?
Yes, it's a great title to have.
And Liz, let me make sure I'm pronouncing your last name correctly.
Brockman.
Brockman.
Yes.
So it's Liz Brockman.
Yes.
Liz, tell us about power. You know, we're talking in terms of POWER, in terms of power and what's happening with Fidelity, because you all do a whole lot in the community as well.
Oh yes, Fidelity Bank has been here since 1908, and we are here for good. So the Power Program is actually
and we're not doing an ad, but they've been here around a long time, and you all do good work in the community.
We do good, and we're being good.
And that's what we want to talk about, because we want to talk about. Well, you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about power, but we want to definitely tie in Habitat for Humanity.
Well, that's going to be next week, we're doing the Habitat next week too.
Okay, go ahead.
So power is it's a unique program for women in business. It's actually an acronym. It stands for Potential of Women Entrepreneurs Realized. And we've done some research on how women are growing in the business world. Since 2007 to 2016, the number of women-owned businesses has grown by 5 times the rate of the United States national average. So we really saw that there was a need for that.
And how does New Orleans fit into those numbers? Are we finding it happening here too?
Oh, absolutely. We have over 43,000 businesses that are classified as women-owned in New Orleans.
That is very significant, you know, and that speaks volumes in terms of what's being done here in our city. So I understand that you all have the Power Initiative. So what are some of the tools that you all provide through the program for women who come and say, you know, we want to grow with this program and expand our business?
So Power is for our customers who are women-owned businesses, or they may be a powerful couple, which could be a man and woman that own a business. It could be an influencer, which would be a woman that's works for a bigger corporation but is a leader or an influencer. And if that person has a relationship with the bank, so some type of account with the bank, then they would be considered a powerful member, a Power member. We have, to start off, we have the website, which is fidelitybankpower.com. And on the website, we have educational tools. We have podcasts that are hosted. We have a host that does these monthly.
And I think this is significant too, because as we move ahead, you know, there have been so many statistics and so many to show to show young women, girls, you know, who are in elementary and growing up, that there are women out here doing business. Absolutely.
I mean, being the role models for the younger women is so huge in this community, and the landscape is changing towards that. On those podcasts, we feature our members, so they talk about their expertise. So they're not. It's not like a commercial, but they're talking about what they're expert at.
And it's things that are happening here.
Yes, in the community.
So tell us, what are some of the businesses that are
we've got all kinds of businesses that are Power members. We have construction companies. We have automotive. We have chefs and restaurant owners. We have oh my gosh, we've got the gamut.
You name it.
Marketing, social media people, financial experts.
Right, and it's grown such a growth in terms of what you all do that's the target of what you do at your job.
Yes, that is the target, and we launched it in October, but it really our big launch was in January. So we're up to 145 members now, and it's just growing. I get calls weekly from people saying, "Tell me about this program. What is this, Liz? I see it all over," and it's so exciting to be able to get people connected together and watch them build relationships with each other, because women like to talk. It's a fact. I mean, women are verbal.
Really?
You know, women and men have the same challenges, but they approach it differently. You know, they want to communicate. They want to share, and that's when we did our research. We kept hearing those words: connect, grow, and so our emphasis is on building relationships.
Right. Well, and, you know, I'm not going to steal Norman Robinson's thunder, who also does affordable housing, but he's a good friend of mine, and I also work on that show as well.
Okay.
And but you all are going to be involved in terms of the Power Women out at one of the Habitat sites, and I say that because I'm a past president of Habitat in New Orleans.
What a wonderful organization!
It is a fantastic.
We love Habitat. Our we did it last year. We had a team last year, and this year we have another team. Our name is Women with Power Tools, and what they're doing is they have teams of women, and they don't allow men to work on the house itself, so it's all women. Last year I was surprised. I was up on the ladder putting up fascia, so now I know how to put up fascia. And it's challenging, but it's so rewarding.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm just glad that the Habitat Legacy, I have some part in playing that it's going on. And again, give us your website in case women out there and girls want to say, I want to get involved.
Absolutely.
How can we're going to put that website up again so we can see it. That's fidelitybankpower.com. All righty. Liz, thank you for being with us, and we appreciate it, and we appreciate you sharing that information with our audience.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we're going to show you some very special ships that are making their way downriver. You don't want to miss it. Stay here.
is like a bicycle. It has a lot of moving parts, connected parts, that all have to work as one. It takes some effort and some balance to keep everything going in the right direction. But when it all comes together, man, is the ride worth it. Blue Bikes. Enjoy the ride.
Well, welcome back to Money Talks. You know, you can go out to Waldenberg Park during April, starting April 19th. I believe that's the date. And you're going to see some wonderful ships out there. Unusual ships. As a matter of fact, they are quite dated. They are the actual the ships with sails from many, many historic years ago. To tell us more about what's called Tall Ships, and they're coming in for part of our tricentennial celebration here in New Orleans, please meet Miss Anna Ladon. And Anna is with Betsy Gamble Public Relations, and Betsy's a great friend of ours, and also worked with her on a number of projects. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We are super excited because this is an educational thing for us.
Yes.
You know, and this is the first time these tall ships are going to be coming in as part of the Tricentennial and coming into our port. So tell us about the project and how New Orleans got involved.
Awesome. Yeah, so Tricentennial Tall Ships Committee was put together by a group of business leaders and city leaders and community members to specifically bring in tall ships to celebrate New Orleans' rich maritime history and the history of the river.
Right.
So the Tall Ships America organization, which is actually based out of Rhode Island, they are coming in with 6 historic tall ships to the city of New Orleans. So it's very exciting. These are amazing vessels that will really allow you to visualize
and
what
they've been restored because they're wood.
Yes,
and
yes.
sails.
Oh, these are fully operational ships that work just like they worked over 100 years ago.
My God. And the educational piece of this is that we've gotten schools involved, local schools here in New Orleans, students involved in this process. So tell us what's going to be happening with a lot of those lucky students.
Yes, so over 2,000 students are going to have the opportunity to go on board these ships. Some of them will be going on to the ships that are docked at Waldenberg Park. So there are 4 ships that are docked on the riverfront. Those are the Alyssa, which is a 132-year-old vessel. The Oosterschelde, which is from the Netherlands, which is very cool that they're coming here. Oliver Hazard Perry, another wonderful educational ship. And then the 4th one is the Picton Castle from the Cook Islands. So those ships will be docked along the riverfront. They're enormous, they're gorgeous, and these children will have the opportunity to go on board these ships. And there are also 2 other smaller ships that are going to be docked on Lake Pontchartrain. And some of these groups are going to have the opportunity to go out on Lake Pontchartrain on day sails. So they're actually going to be able to sail on these ships on the water, where a lot of these kids, even though they live in New Orleans, they've never been on the lake before.
Right. Especially, you know, and when you think about actually on a historic ship. Now, some of these young people will have the opportunity to also actually sail from. Are they coming from Galveston? They're going to come back? Yeah.
Yeah, so the New Orleans Military and Maritime Academy, there are going to be 11 students that are actually going to sail for 11 days.
Wow.
On board the Picton Castle, which is that ship from the Cook Islands. So they're going to be working members of the crew, and they'll get the opportunity to be involved with the crew members of the actual ship and just learn about opportunities for getting together in community. There's so many great things about the ships that they can learn.
And, you know, and the thing about it is, without the water in the port, there would be no New Orleans. So, and we're as we say, we are definitely, you know, the big gate to the rest of the country. And what a wonderful way to do this. So, and this is the first time these ships are going to actually be in the New Orleans area.
Yes, this is the first time they're all coming together
coming
like
together,
this.
yeah.
I know one of the ships, Alyssa, was here in
Yeah.
the 1990s, but this is the first time that they're coming together like this, and in collaboration with NOLA Navy Week. So there will be Navy ships here as well. There will be so many ships on the riverfront. It's going to be a sight to see.
It will be. So I hope, I guess someone will have to put a drone to kind of fly over and get a shot of all of them.
We're actually going to do that. So the ships are going to meet at the mouth of the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
And they'll be under full sail when they come in. And we're going to have a drone capture some footage of them in full sail. Then they're going to meet in Pilot Town, and they'll be ushered up the river by the riverboat pilots.
And that's got to be pretty neat to see them coming in, like that.
It takes them 24 hours to get from the mouth of the river all the way up to New Orleans.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
these are huge historic ships.
Right, and they move only by sail.
Yeah, so they have to shut the sails down, and then they kind of push them up the river.
That I would love to see that myself.
Yes.
It's got to be quite interesting. And these students, this will be something that, this will become a part of their historic portfolio, and it may, of course, draw them into wanting to be a part of the water economy in terms of becoming, with the Navy or just
Exactly.
becoming riverboat pilots or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
So that could be a super opportunity. Well, for more information and for people who want to make sure that they get out to Waldenburg Park, which is right behind Canal Place, for most people who may not know, they need to go to it's Tall Ships.
It's Tall Ships NOLA, NOLA 2018.com.
Okay.
And when you go there, you can find all of the information on the gala, which is helping us put this event on for free for the public. And then there's also some VIP passes if you don't want to wait in line that you can buy. Otherwise, it's all free for the community.
Yeah. Well, super. We appreciate you coming in, Anna. Thank you for being here.
Thank you
and
so
also
much.
tell Betsy I said hello.
I absolutely will.
All righty, and we will definitely be looking out on those ships, and I won't be set sail, but I will definitely be out there looking at them. Okay, thank you. When we come back, we'll have more Money Talks and a special tribute to a wonderful man who did so much for this community. We'll be right back.
What's the best thing about Delgado? You. Delgado helps you achieve your goals, earn a college degree, learn job skills, improve your life. Brand new facilities, lots of locations, outstanding teachers, and flexible class schedules. Delgado offers everything you need to succeed. Know what else? Delgado costs less, half as much as a state university, and you can transfer there when you're done here. Apply now. Delgado Community College, education that works for you.
Well, welcome back. The Delgado Community College Foundation will host its 2018 Roast of the Town fundraising event on April 20th at the Harrah's New Orleans Theater on Canal Street. Proceeds from the event will benefit scholarships and programs at Delgado Community College. The event will host Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards. Roasters will include former Louisiana Governor Edwin Edwards, Louisiana State Senator Troy Carter, Orleans Parish Clerk of Court, and of course now Judge-elect Dale Atkins of the Fourth Circuit, and Speaker Pro Tem of the Louisiana House of Representatives, Walt Leger III, and New Orleans City Council member-elect Helena Moreno. Attendees must be 21 years of age, of course, to attend. For more information or to purchase tickets, they can always go to Delgado's website, which is dcc.edu. And Delgado Music Festival is a spring event that's presented by the Music Department of Delgado in collaboration with the Cutting Edge conferences and events. All proceeds will go toward music scholarships and program enhancements. Music performances and vending will take place on the Delgado City Park campus in New Orleans, Mid-City neighborhood, April 6th and 7th. Artists performing at the 2018 Fest will include Ellis Marcellus, Big Sam's Funky Nation, Brassaholics, Honey Island Swamp Band, Sun Pie, and the Louisiana Sunspots, and many, many more. The two-day fest will be the finale of a spring event activity that includes master classes and the Delgado Songwriting Contest. And in our Making a Difference segment, tonight, and that's our Making a Difference Together. We would be remiss if we did not pay tribute to the one and only New Orleans native, Mr. Tom Benson, who passed away last month. We pay tribute to a man who impacted the lives of so many people in the metropolitan area through his contributions to nonprofits and charities. And of course, the name Tom Benson will forever be remembered, not just for owning the New Orleans Saints football team and the Pelicans basketball franchise, but for all of the things that he did in this community and the lives he touched. And we extend our condolences to his wife, Gail, who will continue to carry on his legacy. Mr. Tom Benson will be missed. Well, that's going to do it for Money Talks. So glad you tuned in to be with us, and we'll see you next month. Until then, be good to yourself, be good to someone else, and remember to stay in peace, not pieces. Bye-bye.